Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you a video about
I wanted to make some experiment, so I decided to create some combination of the colors, so the Martian Earth and the Badlands, the Martian Earth and the Winterfell, and the Winterfell with some inks, so to see and have a bit of fun. And so let's start to see about the experiment. So here we have the mix of the Badlands with the Martian Earth, here the Martian Earth with the Winterfell Fell, here the Winterfell Fell together with the Druchii Violet, and here the one that is the Winterfell together to the ink green of the Vallejo. So it will be really quite interesting to see the final effect, because I'm quite curious to see if we can combine in a much more interesting way. And so here we can find the result. Here we have the Martian Earth combined with the Badlands, and it's not bad, sincerely, because it has quite a lot of potential, but I want to try using the basin that I yet prepared, using the matte varnish, because I think that it can change even better, but this is a mix that improved compared to both them separately, so quite good. Here I have the Martian Earth combined with the Winterfell, and sincerely bad. Okay, had to try again using the matte varnish to see if it improved, because this it's not bad. I like the texture because it's really like a sort of waving with the red one, but sincerely cover a bit too much. Then we have this that it's the one with Winterfell and the Druchii Violet, and sincerely it's not bad because you can see the design and so on. It's really quite intriguing, but I think that I used too much of the Druchii Violet. I think that instead of 4 droplets I should use 2 of them, because it's too dark, simply it. And maybe with the Winterfell, but with the matte varnish under it, it will be better separation, so okay. Same I can say about this, that it's with the green ink, and here it's better because you can see translucent underneath the parts, so I'm really quite curious to see if I can do a bit better. So I had to redo this using, as I said, the matte varnish under it, so that I could find if it's improved quite a bit, because it has really quite a lot of potential. I not threw away for sure these ones, because I can use them as comparison and useful things, so I can use them as basis, because they could be really quite nice applied to some models. So okay, let's do. Okay, now so I prepared the equivalent one here, so I only need to wait and see them dry and see the difference. I used lighter color on these ones and a different combination of this, so I used a bit less of Badlands compared to the Martian Earth, so I want to see. I'm quite curious to see about this one, if it improves or not, so let's make them dry. So let's start to compare the ones without the matte varnish underneath and the ones with the matte varnish underneath. 2 things to notice. I waited 48 hours to be sure that these were dry, so that doesn't change along the time. And remember that I made a previous video where I treated the Crackle paints by themselves with different things underneath. So I suggest you to go to see the link in the description, so that you can have an idea about how they work separately, so that you can understand how it is these effects combined, and you can really have a much better idea of what you want to have as effects. So here we can start with the combination of the Martian and the Winterfell. One downside is that they are a bit too shiny, but at the same time they are not bad if you think that you could have them side by side. Otherwise, I think that the one with the matte varnish, it's much better, because you can see what is underneath, and so it's really quite intriguing. And this, instead, it's amazing about the coverage. So if you want some effect, it could be quite nice, because you could apply and be sure to have a coverage that could be really a Martian terrain. I think that it's much better than by itself, so not bad. and really they are really quite intriguing. It's up to you decide if you want to have an effect or another, but pay attention. This combination is the one that requires many hours to dry completely. So this you have to wait more than 24 hours to be sure to have such crackling. Otherwise it will be incomplete. So pay attention about this. Then we have these that are the combination of the Badlands and the Martian, and sincerely appreciate both of them. I have different texture. So this that it's without the matte varnish, we can see that it's really perceiving something that it's underneath, but at the same time it's a bit granular, sandy. It's not bad. Instead this it's more opened. It's really like something that is floating on magma. So really this I really quite appreciate the combination, and I think that it's even better than the two standalone. So quite nice, I admit. So really quite intriguing. Then we have the ones that it's the combination of the Winterfell and the Druchii Violet. Here I admit the one without the matte varnish. Maybe I used too much of the color, so it's a bit dark, but it doesn't seem like this when I made the color, so okay. Instead here we can see that it's really more fragmented. You can see bigger fragments, so you can perceive much better. And I appreciate quite a lot. I quite like the result. Again, as we've seen for the one that it's a Martian combined with the Winterfell, I think that they are quite suited to be side by side. At the same time, anyway, I think that this is much better. You have to pay attention about how much of the Druchii Violet to use, because otherwise you risk to cover everything. But as you can see, it's crackled quite nicely. So the downside, again, it's that they are a bit too shiny, but at the same time, it's something that you can really quite appreciate. Still, this, I think that it's doing quite a lot. And I had the last one that I prepared, that it's the one that is the Winterfell and the green ink. And again, something that we've seen similar about the Druchii Violet. So again, this that it's without, that it's really quite thicker, as you can see, as it doesn't open too much. Instead here get bigger fragments, but they're not bad. Moreover, this has the advantage that you can see underneath, so you can see better what there is under the effects and so on. So it's something that you could study, you could try. Anyway, they're okay. Even if you put them side by side, they are not bad at all. And it's something that it could be used for sure. I think that in a scamming way, maybe with the action that has been invaded, could be quite good. So that option, anyway. I think that of this, my favorite one is obviously this one, that it's really quite nice. And generally I prefer to use that matte varnish, but I mean that this, that it's without, it's a really great combination. So you could eventually try to use these effects based on the part that you need. So if you need something that it's more dense, you could use this, so without the matte varnish. And instead, if you need something that it open more and so you can see underneath, I think that using the matte varnish, it's really a good idea. So the substrata that you use really quite change the way that you can perceive what is underneath, and so I appreciate more in some way. So really, it's another weapon to your arsenal, because you can simply, based on what you need, change maybe, because you can deploy the colors, the mix on a base, but before put maybe the matte varnish only in some places, so that you can have quite a lot of different aspects, even if it's the same base. So quite intriguing, no? So which one do you prefer? The one that is the Martian with the Winterfell, this that is the Badlands and the Martian combined, or these that are the Winterfell with different inks? Because I think that you could gain quite a lot. I really love this texture, and remember that you can try also different inks and so on. It's up to you. Sincerely, I use this because I'm trying to study for future basing that I'm planning. So this, I think that they were really quite intriguing. And really, I think that all of this has their own potential, and you could even mix different texts and so on based on what you need. So use different steps or different parts of the basin with different substrata. So I invite you to see again the previous videos so that you can see what you can gain from the colors separately. But this could give you quite an intriguing idea about what you can have making a step above. So not bad, in my opinion. What you think about? Write a comment, because I'm quite curious to know what you think about.
So,
From deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.